Time now to move on to modern times and starting to talk about the business of luxury. Actually, we can debate on that, but I personally view the business of luxury really starting in Europe, in the Western world at least, in the 60s, 70s, so not so long ago. Why? Before that, we can say that luxury was an island. What I mean by this is that on this island lived people who all had the same education. It was a minority of elites who shared the same taste, and for them, luxury was kind of their normal lifestyle. But in the 70s, there was a lot of wealth, a lot of enrichment in Europe after the Second World War. Everyone saw their purchasing power increase. And a lot of people started to feel, why not me? Why I cannot access to these luxury places? Why I cannot travel? Why I cannot go on a cruise? Why I cannot buy for myself jewelry from Cartier or Tiffany? Why I cannot go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant or a 5-star luxury hotel? And we started to see a second phase of democratization of luxury. And luxury stopped being an island because a lot of people, a lot of middle classes and upper middle classes started to think they can also indulge themselves with luxury goods and services. With this second phase of democratization and the real starting of a luxury business is that a lot of these new consumers to also develop their personal appreciation and their individualistic view of luxury. So what you can see on that new slide is that it has been a long journey from the time when luxury was related to social, sacred manifestations and our current times, which I define as the postmodern era, where obviously luxury still has an important social component. It is still and mostly something that enables human beings to showcase their success. But at the same time, with more individualistic customers, we start to analyze a phenomenon which is a kind of challenge, I should say, for luxury brands. The fact that luxury in our modern times is more and more defined by consumers, by customers themselves. Great. Let me elaborate now a little on that very important concept of cultural innovation, which is really behind the heritage. In fact, cultural innovation brings together two concepts. Culture, again, we go back to culture, and how luxury brands have been able to leave a strong footprint. This is a form of innovation in the evolution of consumer culture. We can look at the past 200 years. It's enough because most of the current luxury brands were born in the past 200 years. And if you pay attention, going through these different slides, you see that it was an incredible period of changes. You had first, at the turn of the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution, which generated itself the revolution of transportation. And in one generation, human beings could see the horse and the carriage drawn by the horse being replaced by the car, by the train, by the steamers, and by the first airplanes. Obviously, a lot of luxury brands were happy, were lucky to be there at the right time and to be nurtured by these changes. If you take the case of Louis Vuitton, for instance, obviously Louis Vuitton has been here to help these new travelers travel with style, travel with art. And Louis Vuitton would not have been who they are without that important milestone in human history, the revolution of transportation. A second interesting moment was the development of trade, international trade, which saw a lot of explorers, a lot of business people like Cartier, the Cartier family, visiting the world, being influenced by the beauty of the Indian gems, the Chinese culture, also the African culture, and even sourcing natural pearls in Bahrain. And that was also an element of cultural innovation. Thinking about hotels, the early days of international tourism have been actually an opportunity for a lot of legendary hotels to come on stage. And obviously it was particularly in Asia where all these Western travelers created beautiful hotels for them to stay, for them to live, such as the Oriental in Bangkok, the Mandarin in Hong Kong, the Waffles in Singapore.